subscribe. Hey guys, the reason for that really weird intro is because I am so tired of hey guys, it's Allie Actuality. I don't know, I just feel like it doesn't have enough personality in it. I wanted to add to it, you know? I don't know, I just didn't feel like it was individual enough, and also I have a really weird, like, lots of views, no subscriptions sort of thing. So, you know, I just figured I'd give you a little reminder. Subscribe. But yeah, until I can think of a more creative intro, I'm just gonna yell subscribe at you. I mentioned in my last video that I wanted to make a high school advice a series. I wanted to make a series. Here I am. Obviously, there's a disclaimer. All of the information and all of the advice that I give ever is on personal experience. And if it's not on personal experience, it is on, I don't want to say common sense, but just from stuff that I've learned and seen and like witnessed from other people, you know? Yeah, I've been wizened and I just know things. So, this one's gonna be on dating and relationships in high school. So, again, this is all just on personal preference, and if you want to hear about relationships and dating, you should just keep watching. So, if you're dating someone and you're having problems and you guys are fighting, there are a couple of things that you can do about that. But first, we should focus on why. What might be a reason as to why you guys are fighting? I thought that I was like totally mature, you know, I thought I had everything figured out. I thought I knew everything in high school, honestly. And I got out of high school and realized that I didn't know shit. Not only about myself, but just about other people in life in general. And it is really important to know that you don't know everything. And so it kind of comes down to you don't really 100% know yourself either. Like from high school to the end of college, you're going to be a totally different person, and you are constantly going to be learning and like discovering new things about yourself, and you're going to be changing through all of the events and all of the situations that you get put in and you go through and survive. So it's really important to know that obviously if you don't really 100% know yourself, you don't 100%, there's no way you're 100% going to know your significant other. So you just kind of have to realize that you guys are probably fighting because you guys are still figuring yourselves and each other out. So that's a really big factor. In order to counteract that, you guys are going to want to sit down and just really talk to each other. You want to, whenever you guys are about to fight, before you guys like attack each other and pull each other's hair out, sit down and like just talk about it. Like, hey, like that, whatever you did the other day, like really hurt my feelings. This is why. And it would be great if you didn't do it again. You know, like just very calm. Just sit down, talk to each other, and just very cliche, but very, very true, communication is key. You guys can't read each other's minds. You can't read each other. That's essentially it for dating and having problems, because honestly, if you guys are communicating with each other, those problems are going to be solved just by you guys talking. And again, like this is a really big thing that I had in high school, was that like whenever a fight happened and then we talked and whatever, or fought, my ex didn't really tell me what he had going on in his head. You know, he just kind of like bottled up the anger and then didn't really tell me. And whenever he did tell me, it wasn't really related to me. So if he was ever angry at me, I had no idea. So I just continued to do the stuff that pissed him off, I'm guessing, and I didn't know. So obviously those problems never got resolved, and they just kind of got worse. So that's like the last thing you want to happen. Just tell them, you know, like, hey, this upsets me. And you have to change. Either if you are being told what is hurting your girlfriend or your boyfriend, you have to change too, so that you stop hurting them. And obviously if you don't care to change, you don't care about them enough. If you don't want to change and you don't want to stop hurting the other person that you're hurting, and you guys like didn't talk about it, like, hey, like if they're asking like, hey, like I don't like that you talk to other girls or boys, like I don't like it, stop talking to them. No, that's unnecessary, you know. And then you kind of have to talk about your significant other being fucking crazy. But that's another thing. Like, you guys just have to talk, or else you guys are never going to know the problems. You guys are never going to figure out what the heck's going on, and your relationship's going to be fucking miserable. So this is more of a going into college from high school. So if you want to stay together and you want to go to college together, there are a couple of things that you're going to have to do before you do that. You guys have to talk about it. Like, you have to be like, hey, I really want to stay with you during college. Is that going to work? Like, do you think, like, sit down, like, be totally honest with each other and just stare into each other's eyes and, like, press your foreheads to each other. Just kidding, don't do that, it's weird.
What the fuck? Is this allowed? What the fuck? Is that allowed?
Do you think that we can stay together during college? Like, do you think you're going to be okay if I go out with my friends late at night? But, like, you have to be able to ask each other questions and see if they'll be able to deal with it. So, like, I didn't really do this. My boyfriend and I were pretty caught off guard by how different college life was. But it was a problem on both sides. But obviously, we didn't really prepare for it, and it caused a lot of problems between us. Obviously, we're over it now because we talked about it. We just weren't prepared. Now, obviously, if you ask each other key questions, you'll know how they feel about it before you do it. You don't want to find out that your boyfriend has a huge thing about staying out late, and then you stay out late. Like, you know, you want to know the turnout of something that's going to happen. Anything that you feel concerned about, you gotta ask. And you guys also want to make sure that you guys have similar future goals. If one of you, like, I don't know, wants to be, like, aspires to be a stripper and the other one wants to be a doctor, obviously those things aren't going to coincide. And that's going to be a really big problem because obviously one of them is not going to be very focused on school and then you're going to be really focused on school or vice versa. Going into high school, into college, you guys have to talk about it and you guys have to prepare. Okay, and for the last third section is the very obvious one. You want a girlfriend or a boyfriend or a significant other in high school. Yeah, this section is more of a warning, if anything, but there are things that you need to know. First off, relationships aren't always butterflies and cupcakes and like rainbows and beautiful sparkly things and happiness, and they're not, honestly. A real relationship is a lot of back and forth, a lot of give and take. And you guys are going to fight. If you guys aren't fighting, I don't know, personally, if you guys aren't fighting at all, that's not a healthy relationship. Because you guys are keeping your problems to yourself. And unless you guys, like, absolutely have no problems with each other and you guys are fucking meant to be, then fuck, so be it. You shouldn't be or want a relationship just because you want a relationship. Because you want, like, you want the flowers and you want the happiness and the blah, blah, blah. Because, I mean, obviously, it's a really good reason. That's a reason to want it. But also, you want to be with someone because you want to grow with them. You want to learn. And you want to know more about that person. You don't want to be with someone only for the positives. Because there are going to be negatives and you're going to be caught off guard otherwise. Also, don't stress out about it. Honestly, the less you stress out about it, the more likely it's going to happen. Because if you're stressed out about it and you're constantly looking for someone to be with, well, first off, you come off as thirsty and no one wants to be with you that way. Second, you don't want to seem as though you're jumping on everything that you want, you know? Like, you don't, like, again, like, you don't want to seem thirsty. Like, you don't want to jump on people. You don't want to look too needy. You don't want to make it look like all you want from people is to date. You know, it's kind of weird. The less you stress out about it, the more you're just a little bit like, yeah, like, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, then so be it. The more likely something's going to happen because someone's going to be like, oh, thank God. Like, they don't, like, every time someone meets you, it's not like, ah, she wants to date me, fuck. It's going to be like, oh, hey, like, this person's really cool. They're chill. Like, let's hang out. And then you guys are going to hang out. And then eventually something's going to lead from there. Usually. That's usually how it happens. Unless you're like a Tinder sort of person and you're just like, I want to fucking date right now, then fucking get a Tinder and date. Date the fuck all you want. Like, who gives a shit? So, a way to, like, kind of heighten the chances of you being with someone that's good for you and someone that you're gonna like is to surround yourself with people that are, like, good influences. Someone, like, people that are smart, people that are in clubs and, like, do good things, you know? People that are just generally good people and well-mannered. Obviously, the people that you're surrounded with, those are going to be the people that you're going to be the most attracted to because you guys are closest and you guys are hanging out the most. You guys already started off as friends. You have, like, this base to like have a nice relationship to grow out of, you know? And another reason why you might be better off is because there's a lot of drama. And that's not because of you, that's not because of the guy. Honestly, it's because of high school as a whole. High school within itself is just so clicky. So many rumors start so fast. People don't like you for God knows why. People just don't like you, you know? And it's just a thing that happens. I think you can live without it. Relationships just take up a lot of energy, and high school is a really, really tough time. So, I don't know. I think it's okay to focus on yourself. So, yeah, that's about all of the, at least high school centered advice that I have. Anyway, you should go to my Twitter. You should ask me questions. I will give you more personalized advice if you would like. Again, disclaimer, all of the advice that I give is not 100% foolproof. I'm just going to give you advice to kind of give you some guidance. But for any reason, if anything bad comes out of the advice that I give you, shit, I don't make that happen. It's not my fault, so don't sue me. Seriously, it's not 100% foolproof. Like, my advice is not magic. It's just kind of helpful. So, in the comments below, if you guys have anything that you would like me to address maybe later in another video on the same subject that we just talked about, or if you have anything that you want me to cover in the description bar high school advice series, if there's anything you want me to include in that, just comment it below and I will do so. So, yeah. Have a great day. I hope, drink lots of water, do things. Don't forget to use the bathroom. God, I don't know. Just, yeah, okay, bye. So guys, here is actuality. Yeah, it's me. Here to show you how to make your own charging dock. Mine charges my iPad, my iWatch, and my iPod and iPhone. I folded a coat hanger to be the holder